Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. Today I'm going to be talking about why I think the 18-inch Ryobi 40-volt electric chainsaw is probably one of your best bets for camping or overlanding. I've had several chainsaws. I'm up to about 4 now. I've had a gas one, a couple of electric ones. This one is by far my favorite, and again, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to tell you exactly why. If you are into camping or overlanding, this may be the perfect saw for you, so let's get into that. Alright guys, so before I start to talk about the Ryobi 18-inch 40-volt electric chainsaw and why I think it's so great for overlanding and camping, if you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you're into camping, overlanding, gear reviews, that kind of thing, you'll love everything on this channel, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber, so definitely click that button. Again though, today I'm talking about this Ryobi 40-volt 18-inch electric chainsaw. Let me tell you a little bit about my background with chainsaws so that you have a little bit of an idea why I've made this switch to this thing. So I started out with a Black & Decker 10-inch electric chainsaw. Love that thing. I've got multiple batteries for it. I plan to keep it even though this thing is a ripper compared to that. It's a great little chainsaw, especially for like delimbing or processing wood at camp. Also pretty inexpensive. So I'll put a link in the description to all these that I'm going to mention, because some of them have different uses depending on your kind of style of overlanding and what you want to do. But so the 10-inch Black & Decker is a fantastic little chainsaw, but it has a 10-inch bar on it, so, and not a ton of grunt. So if you come across a downed, 8, 10, 12-inch tree across a path or trail that you're on, that Black & Decker is going to struggle to get through that tree. If you're cutting, 3, 4, 5-inch thick downed dead trees up for firewood at camp, that may be a good option. But again, the bar is a little bit too short on it. The power is just a little bit lacking. I believe it's a 20-volt battery, single 20-volt battery, so it just doesn't quite have the grunt or the RPMs to cut through down trees and bigger stuff like that. So that was my first chainsaw, and again, kind of got me into the chainsaw game, if you will. Then after that, I was like, you know what? I want something that I can take with me so that if I do come across, like today, I'm in Wisconsin, we were hitting trails and stuff all day, and multiple times we had to get the chainsaws out and cut through pretty good-sized trees. So if you're doing more like that style of stuff where you're actually really out exploring and you need it for like a safety concern or like to be able to pass an obstacle, you need something with a good enough grunt and also a big enough bar. So my electric, I bought one of the cheapest ones you can buy on Amazon. It was like a $90, $100 gas chainsaw. I still really love that chainsaw too, but when you get into gas, especially if you're like me, right? You're not a lumberjack or a woodsman, you're not super familiar with chainsaws, getting that thing choked and ready and primed and started and everything can be kind of a hassle, especially like right now, it's like 9 degrees outside. So I don't really want to mess with pulling on a starter, to get that thing started. I just want something that I can literally push a button, engage the brake, and go with, right? So the gas one is great, and it does chew through a lot of stuff. However, today on some of the trails, we were with a guy with a Ryobi, actually, a gas chainsaw, and it hung up multiple times, got stuck in the tree, and then I had to come along and actually use the electric one to relieve the pressure and cut the rest of the tree off to free up his saw. And that happened twice in one single tree that we were cutting. So we ended up, my saw kind of became the go-to saw for the day, the Ryobi electric. So then after that, then I was like, you know what, maybe what I need is just a bigger, more powerful electric chainsaw with a longer bar. So I ended up getting a 16-inch Haichika was the brand. I don't think they're around anymore, but it has dual 20-volt batteries. So it actually had a ton of grunt and power. But something about the design of the chainsaw, I don't know, a lot of those sort of knockoff Chinese brands just don't cut the way that you expect them to. They get bound up all the time. You go down through the tree and it just hangs up, and then you've got to kind of wrestle it out of there. And for the trees that we cut through today with no problem with this Ryobi, it would have been super awkward, and it would have taken a ton of different, maneuvering and moving the bar and getting it unstuck from the tree. So again, after that, then I had all those different kinds. I was like, you know what, I need a longer bar, like an 18-inch like my gas chainsaw, but I need more grunt, so that's why I went with the 40-volt Ryobi. And I want something that's going to be reliable, that's a good name brand, that's not a cheap Chinese knockoff. So again, that's where I ended up on this Ryobi. With an 18-inch bar, you've got plenty of bar length to, get through bigger trees and things like that. Again, with the 40-volt battery, you will go through it a little bit quick, and they are very pricey. I will put links in the description down below to like some backup batteries and stuff. I think they're like $75 to $100 for an extra battery. Another tip, if you are looking for this saw, I actually bought mine used on eBay. So you can get them new on Amazon. To get the saw, most of them come without the battery and the charger. You have to buy those separate. So the saw itself is about $250 to $280, depending on, if they've got sales and stuff going on. And then the battery and charger is usually about $120, $130, somewhere in that ballpark. So you're talking $400 for this saw brand new. I went to eBay and I actually found this one used with the plastic hard case, which you see back there in the bed of my truck, and an extra brand new chain and the battery and the charger for about $250. And here's another tip. I added it to my watch list. And like literally the next day, I got an offer from them for like $30 off. So I ended up getting this thing shipped to my door, slightly used. I mean, it looks like in really good shape, and it worked fantastically today with the battery, with the charger, with the plastic case for about $220. So when you're talking about that, I spent $110 on my Black & Decker. I spent $130 on that Haichika, and I spent about $100 on that gas one. I'm more than that in those saws, and I don't like any of them really. Not for this kind of stuff. So this thing is a great all-around workhorse, and that's why I think it's such a good option for camping, overlanding. It can do everything. You can chop up firewood at camp with it. You could get through some really big-sized trees and stuff on the trail if you come across obstacles. It's just a workhorse, and it will chew through stuff. So again, now that I've gone through all this stuff, I will probably keep the 10-inch just as like my around camp, around the house sort of delimber, small firewood processing saw, and then I will have this as my like go-to everyday carry chainsaw, if you will, for all my trips and things like that. Because again, today there were 10-12 rigs in our group, and this chainsaw compared to everybody else's chainsaw was like kind of the winner of the day. It was the one chopping through the stuff. So highly recommend this saw now that I've used it, and hopefully that helps you if you're looking for something to use around camp or for overlanding. So again, let me know in the comments down below. Post up if you've got questions, if you want to know anything about the saw, if you need dimensions, if you want to know more about the box and kind of how that works. I'm happy to answer any questions you've got. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're not already subscribed, click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos every week, so if you're, again, into camping, overlanding, Nissan stuff, I have a Frontier, and I talk about Nissan modifications and my build and stuff quite a bit. Or if you just have a pickup truck and you're looking for ways to sort of set up the rear of your truck, I'm constantly revising mine, so lots of ideas here for that too. But definitely click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. Also in the description down below are links to all my social channels, so wherever you want to hang out, I'm everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Come and hang out. Also down there are links to Patreon. We've got an awesome Patreon group. I'm actually here on this trip with one of my buddies from the Patreon group as well. Brady's been awesome and helped me with some video and stuff today, so thanks to him for that. But we have a Discord. We get once a month, we hop on like a call, like a Zoom call, and I'll talk about our builds and talk about questions and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So if that sounds like something you're into, we'd love to have you there. And then last but not least, the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Totally free to join, about 12,000 members right now. So if you're looking for a place for specifically newer overlanders, or if you want to come and help out newer overlanders without all that sort of drama and the meme wars and all that stuff that you get in some of the bigger groups, we'd love to have you there as well. So again, hope all that was helpful. Happy that you watched the video. Post up if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.